Alright Mush, Ulrika, lovers, how's it going? Arbor Pants here. Got another video for you, don't I? What's this one's about? Oh, this was a review of the waffle tractor, isn't it? The WT Panzer 4. Now, just to give you the genesis, the background, how this started was, I posted this little clip up on Facebook, and got a lot of views, a lot of comments. People PM me that, and then don't know why, it's just a little brawl thing. I just thought it was interesting, you know. And then I was asked to put it up on YouTube, and then from that then I got a few messages and that saying, could I do a review of the waffle tractor? So just while you're watching that, yeah, so I said sure, why not? Now, who's this video for? Well, look, if you're already a well-accomplished waffle tractor player or whatever, or Borsig player, this video is not going to be for you. I'm not going to tell you anything you don't know already. But if you're going up the line and you want to get the waffle tractor eventually, or you just started playing the Borsig, because to be honest with you, the tanks are very, very similar. I mean, the gameplay in the Borsig is very, very similar to the gameplay, almost identical to the gameplay in the waffle tractor. The waffle tractor is basically the Borsig, you even have the same gun, just as a faster reload, to be honest, and a bit more manoeuvrable. So yeah, should be I think this will be useful for you. Now, so let's have a look. So that's that video there. That's what I put up. So that's just how this started. So now let's get into the review proper. Now, look at this. What the fuck is that? Look at this long-nosed prick. Now you're probably saying to yourself, Armoured, what the fuck am I looking at this for? Well, this, my friends, is a needlefish, needle-nosed fish. See them when you're scuba diving or snorkeling and that, like which I do when I'm on holidays, places warm. And wouldn't fucking do it around where I live, it's fucking freezing. Now look at this. Fucking great camel numbers, huh? And that's how this little fucker hunts. You know, you don't see him coming. And he's got fucking nasty bite as well. And that's very like the waffle tractor. Very manoeuvrable, uses great camo numbers, nasty fucking bite. But, like this little needlefish, get caught out by a bigger fish, shark or something bigger, you're going to get fucked up, right? Because you mean you don't have that much to go for you, and you don't have that much protection. So that's bear in mind. So you're like the little fucking needle-nosed fish there, right? Now, configuration. What I do is, I mean, this is basically classic TD, so you want to be shooting from distance. If you're not seen for the whole game, that's basically the best way to play it. So I do use gun rammer because I want to have the most amount of shots as possible, so I want to have a better reload time. But then I use supercharge and I use refiled gun. Why? Because basically if you're playing from distance, you want to reduce the dispersion and you want to increase your chances of penetration, right? So that's what I use on this. I use that on all TDs, to be honest with you. In fact, I use that on any tank I'm going to snipe with. And then I use the toolbox, and I use the prolonged use of boosters, because let's face it, when you need them, right? So you want them to last longer. Now, just looking here, you'll see that we're looking at the fully upgraded tank, which is what you need really. So it's got a 150mm gun, so it's got lots of pen, and even pen tier 10s. By the way, the gun is so good that, and here's a trick that I learned just from playing it, which and also works in the Borsig. If you're firing at a target and it has only 300 HP or less left, you can fire a HE round and it'll probably take it out. So particularly useful if you're up against an E100 or something like that. Instead of trying to pen him, especially if he's face hooking you, fire a HE round into him, you'll probably do 300 alpha no problem, just in a HE round. You don't need to pen him. Just bear that in mind. It might help you out if you're stuck. Now you'll see here, looking at the armor profile, kind of a waste of time really, because it doesn't fucking have any. Like the little needlefish up against the shark, you're fucked. So basically, let's assume you've got no armor. It's like toilet paper. It's an origami tank. Literally, if somebody was on the battlefield with a catapult, they'd pen you. So that's just bear that in mind. Now it says here, looking at tactics, it's good for peekaboo. It's good for long-range sniping, and it says for 1v1 brawl. And you might think, well, jeez, I've no armor, but it is very manoeuvrable. Its reload takes people by surprise, and its manoeuvrability and its turret speed take people by surprise, as you saw there in that little clip. Like that VK thought he was coming in to kill me, and thought an isolated waffle tractor is always easy to kill. Well, just going to ram him, blah 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 blah, HE him, done. But it's surprisingly fast. Even if you're not familiar with the tank, it's surprisingly fast. Good manoeuvrability, and it has a decent reload, and the damage it does with that reload is significant, so you can survive brawls. And as I said to you, if you remember that little trick about the HE, you don't need so you don't risk a bounce, because the dispersion close up on the tank is basically zero. So yeah, you're going to come out on top. So bearing that in mind, let's have a little bit of a look at the gameplay, shall we? So let's take the needle-nose fish. It does look like a needle-nose fish as well, doesn't it? Sort of totally impractical, sort of fucking ugly little bastard. Now, and you might wonder why that is. Well, historically, it's just basically a massive fucking gun stuck in a tank chassis, isn't it? So that's why it hasn't got any fucking protection around it. Anyway, so in this map here, you really, so before you go into the map tactics, just another bit about playing this tank, right? You can't go front line, right? That's just suicide. And you really can't carry a game on your own, no matter how good a player you are, unless at least one or two of your other team know what they're doing. Because you need people to spot up your targets. You need people to, you know, be going around the map, spotting up the reds, making sure that you're protected as well. Because one of the things that can happen with this tank is you can end up with 0 in a number of games, because if you're flanked by fast movers, you can really just be killed with 3 or 4 shots, and especially if there's more than one of them, and that's it. You can finish the game with 0, you know. So it's in many ways the tank is like binary code in that respect. You can do 3-4k damage, or you can do 0, and you can do one game after another, and it doesn't really matter how good a player you are, because the tank itself is unforgiving in making mistakes. Like if you get caught, if you get isolated, if you get isolated by a number of meds, you're just fucked. If you get isolated one-on-one, particularly with a heavy tank, you might have a chance. If you get isolated with a light tank or a med, it's going to be difficult, unless you get a one-shot kill, which you can try, but you never know. You always need a bit of luck for that. Now, in this game here, what I decided to do is, right, I took a shot there at the start, but what I did is I'm coming here. Why did I come here? Well, with this tank and with this gun, I'm making sure that they can't cross to get at my allies. So if they want to cross here, when I get shot in, they're going to have to expose themselves to my massive gun, and that's keeping them all honest, to be honest, right? So they're like sort of fucking hell. Now I'm asking that tiger to stay, and why? Because I see there's reds to my right. Now I'm protected in front and protected to the left, but to the right I'm currently protected as long as the tiger stays there. He can stop pushing onto me. That's why I asked him to stay. Now I'm in a good position here. Now it may not look like I'm doing a whole lot. And there you go. This is me asking the tiger to stay, because I thought he might be heading off. Because if he stays, I'm going to be protected. If he goes off, well then I can be pushed on from the top right, and that'll fuck up the whole team play. Now, while he's staying there, I'm protected. While I stay here, I'm protecting the whole line of fire in front of me. So the reds can't really push on. And as long as my greens keep spotting them up, I can get shots in. And even if I'm not penning them, they're still afraid. They're afraid to push on. Because this is the other thing about this tank. It's intimidating, right? Because if you know it's out there somehow, somewhere, and it's got a bead on you, this massive fucking gun, you know it's going to fuck shit up, right? I mean, you know, it's like going into a maximum security prison if you're a good looking fella, right? You know, you're just afraid that you're going to get fucked up the ass by something massive, right? And you don't know when, you don't know where, but you know it's out there waiting for you somehow, right? So there you go. Now I was patient and eventually got him, and that wasn't a kill shot, but that's basically what killed him, because now he's a one shot and there he gets taken out. And that ST1, he was sort of like the cork in the bottle. He was there you go, fuck you WT. He knows. You know you're always doing the right thing when the reds get salty, particularly if the player knows what he's doing as well. So he knew that he was holding up our whole advance there, and that shot in him basically killed him. Now I can push up, and we can push up like one of those breast enhanced bras, and up we go. So now it may not look as if I was doing that much there, but honestly that position I adopted there really helped my team. And you can see here how accurate the gun is, even, and there's something like the object there that has decent armor. You know, you can push in, and you know, you can even pen them from the front. The waffle tractor, it's really like, you know, a joint and orgy. It doesn't really matter what way you're facing, it's going to penetrate. And there's a kill there as well. So you see, even though I didn't kill the ST or I didn't kill the object, my rounds sort of are the ones that were the death of them, let's say, you know. So sort of like AIDS, really, you know. I'm the AIDS, not the cause of death, it's normally the flu or something simple like that, but yeah, but I'm kind of the reason that the flu was able to kill you, if that analogy works. There you see how accurate the gun is. That's really accurate AIDS. And then again, you see I did the same thing for him there, right? You know, I'm AIDS, I'm lowering his immunity system, and in comes the little flu virus or the common cold, takes him out. In this case, the common cold was the yes. So there you go. So that's a bit of gameplay there, and how to use that tank. As I said, you know, try to sit at the back, try to remain in spot, try to use that big gun to intimidate the enemy. You can see, even though it didn't look like it was doing that much, we did over twice as much damage as the next guy in the team. Did a little bit of a carry and helped me team. So there you go. So that's how to play that tank. It is enjoyable. Music was Mozart, recommend D minor. Alright, cheers Mush, take it easy now. See you, boys.